Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Crew Bites. Today's recipe is almond cookies. They are so pleasant to eat that one wants more. These delectable almond cookies are made with just a few ingredients and taste more like macarons. Chewy on the outside and soft on the inside, these cookies are so irresistible. Also, they are dairy-free, gluten-free and healthy too, and can be made in a very short time. So let's get started. So for this you need almond flour 300 grams, castor sugar or powdered sugar 130 grams, icing sugar half cup, 2 egg whites about 60 grams, almond essence half a teaspoon, glazed cherries, or you can use jam instead. So at first we are going to separate the egg whites from the eggs. So crack the egg into a bowl and just separate the egg whites carefully as shown. Or you can use a slotted spoon with tiny openings and then crack the eggs onto the spoon so that the egg whites just seeps through the tiny holes. Or if you have any other method of your own, you can use that way. And just separate the 2 egg whites. Adding a pinch of salt, and now we're going to whip the egg whites into soft peaks. You can either use a hand whisk, it might take longer time, but if you have an electric mixer, use that. I'm using an electric mixer, so it's very quick, just 1 or 2 minutes is required. So just whip the egg whites until you get soft peaks. We do not want stiff peaks, so just be careful about that. So there's no need to over whip the egg whites. You just need to get whip them to soft peaks. That's it. Adding half teaspoon of almond essence to the whipped egg whites and just whisk it well. And now to this we'll be adding the dry ingredients. So take a bowl and add 300 grams of almond flour and 130 grams of castor sugar. If you do not have castor sugar, use the regular sugar, granulated sugar, and just powder it using a mixer and use about 130 grams of it. Now we're going to mix this well with the almond flour. The sugar and the almond flour should be well mixed, so I should have used a wider bowl. And now we're going to add the almond sugar mixture to the egg whites. Just add it in small portions so it's easy to mix through, and just using a spatula mix it until you get a dough-like consistency. You'll feel it's a bit dry in the beginning, but soon you will realize that it will form like a dough. So don't be worried about the initial stage. See, it's forming a sticky dough. So at this stage I'm going to use my hands. That's better, just to bring everything together into a dough. There's no need to knead the dough too much. Just mix it well together so that everything comes together to form a smooth dough. That's all. See, now our dough is ready. Now preheat your oven to 150 degrees Celsius, which is 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Now make tiny balls out of the dough. Just roll them with your hands into smooth balls, and then we are going to coat them with icing sugar. Just roll the balls in the icing sugar so that they are well coated with the sugar, and just flatten them slightly on the top with your fingers, and then transfer to a cookie sheet or a baking tray lined with baking paper or butter paper. Place the cookies about 1 inch apart. These cookies do not spread out too much, so 1 inch gap should be enough. Also, the size of the cookies which I am making is about roughly around 3 centimeters in diameter, which is a decent size. But if you want slightly bigger cookies, you can do it accordingly. That's totally up to you. Make sure that the cookies are well coated with icing sugar. These cookies are very easy to make, and unlike some other cookies, there's no need for the dough to be refrigerated before baking. These can be baked right away. So with this amount I got about 27 cookies. Now, using your thumb, or if you have a small wooden spoon with a round bottom, just make small round dents in the middle of the cookie, and just place the glazed cherries in the middle. If the cherries are too big, you just cut them into halves and then place it. If you do not have cherries, you can use jam instead, or you can even use whole almonds. So I happen to have these glazed cherries, so I'm just using them. So that's totally up to you. Alternatively, you can leave the cookies plain with smooth tops. Either way, they just taste amazing. So use according to your taste. So this is how you just press it with your thumb. Just dip your thumb in the icing sugar first and just press it gently in the middle of the cookies. Now we're going to bake them in a preheated oven at 150 degrees Celsius for about 20 to 25 minutes depending on your oven, until the top begins to crack and the bottom starts to turn slightly golden. So these are the cookies once baked. See the cracks on the top? For me it took about 20 minutes. So the baking time purely depends on your oven. So check after 15 minutes. And these cookies, when they are right out of the oven, they are very soft. So just leave them for a few minutes on the baking tray before you transfer them to a cooling rack. And they'll soon firm up once they cool. So don't worry about the soft texture once they are out of the oven. So that's it. Our tasty and simple almond cookies are ready to eat. These cookies, once cooled, can be stored in an airtight container for up to 5 days. So please try these tasty cookies at home. You'll definitely love it, and let me know your feedback. So I hope you all enjoyed today's video. See you all soon with more good recipes. Until then, goodbye.